Hey, good morning, investors. It is Friday, November the 14th, and everything is beautiful this morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Hey, I'm not going to keep you that long, but I do want to share this information that I have been collecting this week within the last 24 hours. But before I start, I definitely want to let you know that Mary Kay Cabot is still swinging from vine to vine in the monkey tree of the Cleveland Browns clubhouse. Now she's saying that she's hearing no rumblings from any players in the Cleveland Browns organization that want Shedeur to play. He has the audacity to try to make us believe that no other teammate, try to make us believe that there's no other player on the entire Cleveland Browns football team that wants to see Shedeur play, but wants to support Dillion in the mockery of what they call football at this point in time. Okay, yeah, I swear, Mary be smoking that stuff. Mary don't know what side to stay on. You know, I'm all of them flip flop in Cleveland. We all know this. All of them flip flop, but Mary is the worst of it. Who's want to talk? Nobody wants to talk to you, Mary. She's gonna try to convince us that everybody wants to continue to play with Dillion because he's a development quarterback, and when Shedeur gets in there, they're gonna rally around him. You know what? This is my whole thing about, and let me just put this out there just in case so I don't forget it. The reason why I want Shedeur to play this year and don't wait till next year. Everybody say, oh, he can sit on the bench for a year and sit back and learn the game. Negative. If you've done anything in sports, even if you had a job, you know the best experience is actually going out there to do that. So that's ludicrous. Sitting on the bench, who are they trying to, we're not kids. Who are they trying to convince? Who are they trying to convince that actually OJT, on the job training, is less crucial than sitting down taking notes about the job? Just get out of here. See, I'm losing my train of thought already. It is what it is. Getting back to my point. The reason why I don't want him to sit on the bench for the next year or for the remainder of the year, because do you see the extent that Cleveland Browns have went through to try to convince us, one, that he is not who he is? That'll never happen. We know who Deion Sanders is. So they're trying to convince us that he's not who he is, and that if he sits on the bench, he'll get his opportunity next year. No, let's just say they go out there and they get a first round or a second round quarterback. By the games that they're playing, we got to see what we have in them before we play Deion Sanders, who was selected 5th round, pick number 144 in 2024. We have to give our first round quarterback, a second round quarterback, a chance. Look what they've done with the situation with Dillion being drafted round 3 and Shedeur being drafted round 5. You don't think they will play this game again next year with a potential first round quarterback and a potential second round quarterback? We ain't foolish. That's why I say, even if Shedeur get the last 4 games, and I know that the margin of error would be very slim to none, but at least he got out there. Because we already know who Shedeur is, but at least the doubters was nowhere. Dang, the Cleveland Browns set on this. Okay, we know he played only the 4 last games of the season, but what if they would have played him earlier? See, that's what I want to do. I want to cause doubt. Doubt is one of the strongest things in the human species. Once Shedeur get out there, it's going to cause doubt, and it's still going to put that needed pressure on Cleveland Browns on why they didn't play him earlier. Because if they saying that Dillion's sample size is too small at this point to make an accurate evaluation regarding his play abilities, well, with Shedeur only having potential 4 games or less in this season, the same argument should go for him, but you know that's not the case. So let me go ahead and jump into what I want to talk about. So last night in my video, I was alluding to let them talk and eventually they'll tell on themselves. That's what I'm going to end this video on. But as of now, did you know? Because I didn't know until I got to, till I listened to the video in its entirety, that Shedeur Sanders is not even allowed to talk to the press anymore. So if you don't believe me, let me play this clip. But my question is, why? Why Shedeur Sanders can't talk to the media if they ask him questions?
Ever since our Justin Cooper broke the viral video interview of Shedeur, right, where he said, I'm better than what I see out there and all that, they have stationed a PR rep at all times watching Shedeur in the locker room to make sure to intercept, let's say, any interview attempt.
You think they don't like when he talks?
Well, I don't know, but it just seems like that interview was a turning point in maybe in relations. I don't know, but since then, I don't think the coach has used his name once, right? And he's asked about him once or twice or three times a week. That's what's going on right now.
All I see is a bunch of dudes sitting around going, why are you not playing Shedeur? And why are you about it? Like they're playing the soundbite. He won't even say his name. He won't even say his name. What is that? What is that? I don't want to start getting all pissed off.
Now, just to recap, the reason why Kevin Stefanski will not say his name in any type of media conferences or coverages, which Tony is also going to allude that someone went back after this recording and they went through the last 8 media conferences that Kevin Stefanski has had with the media, and not one time in those 8 recordings, 8 sessions, Kevin has said Shedeur's name once. This is what you call social annihilation. I went through it in another video. It's called social death, social annihilation. What Kevin Stefanski is attempting to do is, believe it or not, I know it sounds funny, but it works. It's called, he is trying to erase Shedeur out of existence, socially and physically. If he doesn't talk about Shedeur, that means Shedeur will be erased from all of the social medias, or the noise regarding Shedeur will decrease. And he's also erasing him physically off the fields because he won't let him play. So in Kevin Stefanski's mind, even though this is a sign of mental illness, he has erased Shedeur out of his mind, and he's trying to erase Shedeur out of our minds by not even bringing him up. He won't even mention his name. Have you ever heard of the silent treatment? I know you have. That is the same thing. Ignore a person and maybe they'll go away. That's exactly what Kevin Stefanski is attempting to do, but it's not working. We can see there's a lot of abuse going on behind the scenes. They won't say his name. They won't play. Kevin Stefanski won't acknowledge him. As you can see, as the season is going on, some of the broadcasts, when they're broadcasting the games, barely even get a glimpse of Shedeur. You don't even see, they won't even show Shedeur on the sidelines. This is their way of trying to eliminate the Shedeur aura and effect, but it's not happening. So if they're going to double down, we're going to double down also. But I still say, as I said last night, let Dillion play in this game against the Baltimore Ravens. They can even put Zappy out there. It doesn't matter no more. We're taking a break this week. Cleveland Browns have stood up. Now the ticket sales have went from $9 to $6. I'm trying to tell you by tomorrow, it'll probably be even $1 just to get in or free. Going back to this, if you let them talk, they'll tell you exactly what's going on behind the scenes. I have never seen a team, especially go into depths about how they are developing a young player. If he's that bad, take him off the field. But of course, this is the Cleveland Browns. Let me let you hear in depth the type of training and coaching and trying to give Dillion all of the breadcrumbs to the tower of success. Just hear this right here.
In terms of just some of the throws that seemed pretty off on the part of Dillion, is there something mechanical happening? Is it just, I don't know. Can you?
Yeah, I think it goes back to the point. A couple of points I was just mentioning, like evaluate it. Sometimes, hey, is there something mechanical or fundamental we want to correct? Is there something from a understanding during the week game plan that we want to correct? Sometimes quarterbacks miss. Sometimes, rain or weather can affect, all those things can affect it. So you try to boil each play down into its own individual play, and then what caused this, and then how can we correct that? Look, I've had my finger slip off a ball and you miss. If that's the case, great, we'll get the next one. If there's, hey, I wasn't quite sure on the coverage, then that's where we dig back in as coaches and talk through the reason of why we're doing things. And, all those are really important. I think for every position, when you don't have the execution, that's what you're trying to get after. If we miss a block, did we understand the scheme? Did we set incorrectly? Did they just win? Did you step on the guard? Like, there's a lot of different things that go into every position as you evaluate it. Did you win at the top of a route? That's our job as coaches when you evaluate the game and what happens, to look at the reasons why things are happening. And then, there's obviously things that are correctable, and then there's things that.
Do you see the level of development that they have to discuss about what they're doing in order to get Dillion prepared on a weekly basis? So if they're not giving Shedeur Sanders any type of reps or playing time or even first team reps or second team reps, it's because all week they have to go through this whole entire, Dillion, why did you throw the ball like this? Dillion, did your finger slip? Oh, Dillion, was it the rain? Oh, Dillion, did you plant correctly? Oh, Dillion, did you see this scheme? Oh, Dillion, can you see over the line? This is the NFL. This is child's play. I'm trying to tell you, if you just sit back and watch and be patient and listen to what they're saying, they're telling us exactly what's going on behind the scenes. They have to walk Dillion through NFL preparation on a weekly basis regarding the game that just passed, so they can understand his reasoning and prepare him for the game that is upcoming the following weekend. If I had to do this, I'd be looking just like Tommy Reese. Look at his eyes. This man is tired. And Dillion, and let's not forget, I'm going to drive this home. Dillion and Shedeur has been with the Cleveland Browns ever since April. Rookie minicamp started in May. In May of this year, we're talking about June, July, August, September, October, November. All of these months, and they still have to walk Dillion through this. No wonder they kept saying, oh, he's a rookie quarterback. Oh, he needs all the time. He's developing. And I'm like, well, okay, Shedeur Sanders is also a rookie. Why are you not developing him? They can't get to Shedeur, or they know in the hearts of hearts, Shedeur doesn't need all this, but Dillion does. And they got to make him look good because they chose him as the 3rd round pick instead of the 5th round pick. And we already know, I talked about it in other videos. Actually, Shedeur is a 1st round pick. Everybody knows that. But because they switched characters and they switched players in this destiny swap thing, characteristics type of, everybody on said that the players were swapped. So just go back to the other videos, prior videos. But because they have switched, they have to make this real. Who are they trying to convince? They're trying to convince themselves, but it's not working. It's definitely not working on the public because we know. So they're trying to. Kevin has so many mental illnesses. He needs to be evaluated. And I wasn't playing when I said that earlier this week. He needs to be evaluated. He definitely needs to be evaluated. Let me keep pushing.
I can't get over Shedeur not playing or not. Just doesn't seem like he's something.
Tony, we with you.
Something is amiss. I'm gonna.
Hey, Tony,
best.
we all share the same sentiments. Something is definitely amiss with this team. This is Tommy Reese, 2nd week as the official offensive coordinator, and Tommy looks like he's been drained all year long. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what's truly going on behind the scenes? You got to walk through Dillion each and everything. Okay, so let me go to the jewel of this video. 40-inch slips. Everybody knows what a 40-inch slip is, right? And then sometimes if you let a person talk, they'll start telling on themselves and other things that actually supposed to keep a secret. Why? I came across a clip and it was buried down in this 24-minute video. And if you get past that 10-minute mark, oh my gosh, they start dropping jewels like, whoa, did he really say that? So I came across a clip. His name is Ross Tucker. Okay, Ross Tucker. I only watched that show because of Garrett Bush. I love Garrett Bush. Shout out Garrett Bush. But he was talking about, once they got past all of the, highlights and stuff, about the depth of hate that some generations have for Deion and his sons, right? So he goes on to say that when he was playing football, his grandfather at that time, who was 85 years old, he confessed that his grandfather offered him $10,000 to take out Deion Sanders, or they banned it. It was something called bounty scandal, where someone would pay players a bounty to take out other players. Yes, this was big when Deion Sanders was playing. Hate regarding the Sanders is polarizing. Either you're going to love them or you're going to hate them, right? So watch this clip.
If you say anything positive about Shedeur Sanders, there's like an army. I don't know if they're bots or what, but there's like an army of people on social media that will just kill you and say, stop kissing up to him. He's not good, blah, 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 blah. Conversely, if you say anything even a little bit critical, there's an even bigger army of bots that comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Say, how dare you say that? Oh yeah, no, it's Tebow. It's like a Kaepernick Tebow. Like it's as polarizing as I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And I think here's what I think is weird. Tebow kind of had, the religious thing. Kaepernick had obviously the cause that he stood up for. It seems like it happens when it's more than football. I'm not really sure why with Shedeur it's more than football. I think obviously his dad has a lot to do with it. Listen, I still remember, guys, I'm not kidding you. My grandfather, okay, who played in the leather helmet days, like God bless his heart, he hated Deion Sanders so much that in 2004, I was starting at center for the Bills against the Ravens. And this is when Deion came back and was playing for the Ravens. He offered me $10,000 to take out Deion in the game. My grandpa, okay? I was 25, he's 85, okay? Yeah. He doesn't even know what a bounty is. He doesn't care, but he hated how much of a showboat Deion was that much. So I think that's where some of it comes from, is that people either loved or hated Deion, and so now you're on that side, one side or the other, and you take it all out on Colorado football and on his son.
Hey, Ross, I apologize in advance if I'm wrong. I remember reading.
Did you not hear what he just said? In that 2-minute span window, that summarizes all of this. So many people hate Deion Sanders that they're taking it out on the sons. We see what happened to Shiloh. Now we see what's happened to Shedeur. This thing goes deep. Now he's talking about his 85-year-old grandfather that when he played in the league, his grandfather hated Deion Sanders so much, his grandfather didn't even play with Deion Sanders. His grandfather probably either had 50 to 60 years on Deion Sanders and only know of Deion Sanders like we know of Deion Sanders on TV. But Deion Sanders caused such a great hate and jealousy in their heart Now, I don't think Ross Tucker was even athletic enough to even touch Deion Sanders, to even try to get to him to take him out. But what if Ross Tucker did have the physical abilities to take Deion Sanders out? Deion Sanders' career, professional career, and even as of now, his health could have been totally different if Tucker would even got to Deion Sanders. Do you see what they are saying behind closed doors, the schemes they're doing behind closed doors? And Ross Tucker, he just confessed this on a live recording with the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. So if they feel like this, can you imagine what Kevin Stefanski feel towards Shedeur? And let's not say Kevin Stefanski, let's say great-grandfather, uncle, niece, whomever may have had a bad dealing with Deion Sanders in the past, and Kevin Stefanski is the tool for the get back. I'm going to get back at Deion Sanders for what he did. And let's just say if it wasn't a relative of Kevin Stefanski, let's just say it was someone else in the NFL organization, a whole nother team in a different division that wanted to get back at Deion Sanders. All they had to do is call Cleveland, Kevin Stefanski, hey, make this happen. I'll make your life better. Quid pro quo. Don't tell me it doesn't happen. Because if it happens at the local job around the corner, it definitely happens in corporate America, and it's definitely happening in the NFL, because none of us understand why Shedeur Sanders is not on the field in week 10. And I'm gonna leave this right here. I will be coming back to address this in the week of Thanksgiving. I want you to also listen to what he's about to say, because what he's about to say also played into the Shedeur slide during draft. It's Friday and we already cooking, and it's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet. We cooking. Listen to this.
An article last year that there was a broadcaster that was supposed to interview. I thought it was you, and that's why I hesitated to bring it up. For those that haven't heard.
Now, if you don't know him, I can't stand this man. His name is Jay, the one on the left-hand side. He's Jay. Now, Jay, he pretending like he didn't know who the reporter is, but Jay know. He's bringing this up and look at his face. Look at Ross Tucker face on. He know where this is about to go, because they plan to talk about this before the show even air or before the recording. So I'm trying to tell you. But thank you, Cleveland, for not playing Shedeur, because now we get to see all of the networking and the schemes and talks that's going on behind the scenes, because y'all are painting a picture. Hold on. Let me let him finish. But look at his face. He know where this is about to go. And Jay lying. Jay always lying. Him and Mary Kay Cabot, they got to be cousins.
That story, when I read it with kind of shock and amusement that this actually happened. But remind myself and our viewers.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I wouldn't describe it as he stood us up.
Right.
I would describe it as, it was an important game for me. So I actually, even though Thursday night football I was doing on the radio, I flew out to Denver on Wednesday to go to Colorado's practice, because I wanted to, talk with them. They actually told me Travis Hunter doesn't do a lot of media, but Shedeur will talk with you. Okay, great. And then, so I'm ready for Shedeur, and they say, well, Shedeur got hurt against Nebraska. He has to get treatment. He can't talk to you. Now, I think this is a really important aspect of the story, Jay. They say, who else do you want to talk to? I say, how about Jimmy Horn Jr.? They're like, okay, just in case. Anybody else? I was like, okay, Hank Zielinskis, the starting center. I don't know. So they're walking off the field, and now I know I'm not going to talk to Shedeur. The SID goes up to Jimmy Horn Jr., who plays for the Panthers now, points at me. Jimmy Horn Jr. goes, no, and keeps walking. I mean, wow. I'm doing the game on CBS. So I wanted to establish the precedent that, like, the players kind of did what they wanted there, right? This was not just like a Shedeur thing or anything. Like, the players did what they wanted. I was told, well, he'll talk to you Friday night. Okay. We do the production meetings. Shedeur does not come to the production meeting. Instead, it's LeJohntay Wester. They didn't give us a reason why it was a rookie. It was a receiver and not Shedeur. The only thing I thought was really weird about it is we're leaving, and there's a pickup truck right out front of the hotel, and Shedeur was just sitting in the back of the pickup truck. And I actually regret. I might even ask him if he is playing in that game. I do. I guess regret not going up to him, introduce myself. Hey, Shedeur, Ross Tucker, nice to meet you. I'm doing the game on CBS, and just saying, like, just out of curiosity, like, why did you not want to do the meeting? And maybe the answer is just because with all the attention they got, all the commercials, all the media, maybe he just didn't maybe he didn't know that you're supposed to be production meeting and just didn't feel like doing it. And so I didn't it didn't affect how I called the game. But my point about that, Jay, was that stories like that get out, Yeah. And then the pre-draft process went the way it went for him. Those things start to stack, right? Like, skips a production meeting, then at the combine meetings, those things stack on top of each other, and people talk. And because I had at least 5 NFL GMs in the weeks after say, hey, what'd you think of Hunter? What'd you think of Shedeur? And like, what's Shedeur like as a kid? Like, well, I didn't get to talk to him. And then they're like, yeah, we've heard that stuff. So all that stuff counts.
It all adds up. Hey, we've got a hard 12:20 out. Ross, as always, I don't hold it against you that you said the Browns were.
Did you catch that? Please say you caught that in the comments. If you let them talk, they'll tell them this stuff. This video is roughly 20 plus minutes long. And if I didn't sit down and just let them talk, I would have missed all of these nuggets. If we're just looking at this through shallow lens, we would just think Ross Tucker, is just someone coming to this show to give his opinion, shout out to G. Bush. But as we go along in the video, we found out that he is an ex-NFL player whose grandfather was going to pay him $10,000 to take out Deion Sanders. He already confirmed, which we already knew, but even he said it, that the Sanders family, Deion, Shedeur, and including Shiloh, they are so polarizing. You're either going to love them or hate them. They're telling on themselves, okay? And that he was upset that Shedeur didn't meet with him. So, he kind of felt, even though he didn't allude to it, we know what he was saying. He was upset that he didn't get an opportunity to interview with Shedeur. He also said, for number 5, he also said that other GMs reached out to him to get his opinion on LeJohntay Wester, Jimmy Horn, Travis Hunter, and Shedeur. And that number 6, all of this played into his opinion on what he gave to the other GMs. His opinion, you can say this, played into the Shedeur draft because what he said, all of this adds up. All of this adds up. So, Vestas, I'm going to keep digging. Oh, and let me not forget, because I definitely want to highlight this. And thank you to one of my VIP subscribers, Miss Sparks Up. Someone in the NFL or whoever the judges was to select the rookie of the week, they have common sense and they're not falling into this Cleveland Browns mockery of the game. Hold one. Now we all know that the joke even got funnier this week when Dillon Gabriel was nominated for Rookie of the Week. Thank you, Lord, that everyone in the NFL is not like the Cleveland Browns. But shout out to this young man who actually won Rookie of the Week for Week 10 of the NFL. Shout out to this young man. Nick Emanwari is a Seattle Seahawks safety. So congratulations, young man. Everybody in the NFL is not fooled about and swallowing the Kool-Aid that Cleveland Browns is trying to convince the world of. Ain't nobody foolish. So Vesters, until next time, and I love digging and I love putting these pieces together. So let me know if you like these type of videos or not, because hey, I'm here for my Vesters. So I hope you brought your drink and I hope you brought your notes today. But if not, make sure when we meet up next time, you got your notes, you got your drink, and you got your vest, because we vested up. Have a good morning. Have a good day. I'll be coming back tonight at 9 o'clock with my Tony Talks Investor segment tonight. Or, hey, and if I catch anything juicy, because it is Friday, I'm going to drop another video before 9 o'clock tonight. So just be on the lookout and make sure that your notification bells are on and working, because Tony is cooking in these streets. This is the other Tony. This is not Tony Rizzo, and this is not Tony Grassi. This is Tony Talks Vested Up Investors. Thank you so much for being part of my journey. So have a great day. And Shedeur, go ahead and save your body. Go ahead and save your mind. Your time coming. They can't deny you forever. The lies may continue, but they can't deny you forever. Shedeur, we riding with you. We standing strong. This week, we just gonna take a mental break like we want you to take a mental break. Continue to have that blessed heart and continue to do everything right, young man, because the world, literally the world, is following this story. Oh, I just had deja vu. Okay, Vesters. Until next time. Thank you.